Elsa Perez, how is it to play in a bilingual theater?
Well, for me, it's very natural because I grew up bilingually. French is my first language, but it is. But we lived in Toronto when I was 2, and then we moved back here, moved back to Toronto. So I really went back and forth between, I lived in the States for a while. So for me, it's very, very natural to go back and forth. When I'm with my family, we go back and forth with my close friends. So I really belong to this group of people in Montreal that live in French and English simultaneously. And that's why I've always had this idea to have a bilingual theater company. And I was thinking, well, how would that work, bilingual theater? Would you do one play in English, one play in French? And then I went...
Why not mixed up in the same play?
Exactly. And we actually, Greta and I, the other actor who's in this, went to see a show about a year and a half ago called The Anger in Ernest and Ernestine, Les Foudres de Ernest et Ernestine, which was a bilingual production. It was a one-night thing for a benefit. And it was so good, and it worked so well that I said, oh, my God, you could do this, So we found this play.
And talk me a little about this play, actually, according to Diana Log.
Yes. So it is a play that was written by Laurel Haynes, who's an American playwright. And it's a play about Diana, but it's mostly a play about women, I think. And I think
women would think of Diana.
Yeah, women that are related to Diana somehow. So Diana is like the
fil conducteur.
Exactement, le fil conducteur, the ongoing element that kind of links every little piece of this puzzle together. But I think it's mostly a play about women and about women's emotions and the expectations that are put upon women, and it's treating all of this with a lot of comedy, I think. So it's irreverent, and it's funny, and it's a little dark, but it's not I think if people want to see a very serious piece of theater about Diana, this is maybe not the best thing to see, but it is a tribute to her.
It is a tribute.
Absolutely.
And what type of character do you interpret?
Well, I play the two bookends of the play. So I play the little girl who's watching the wedding at the beginning, and then who comes back at the end watching the funeral with her own daughter. So I love that part because she comes back, and there's something I think those two pieces are maybe the most, I don't want to say realistic, but there's something realistic about the style, and they're maybe a little bit more emotional than the other ones, less broad perhaps. So I play those two, and then I play Arlette, who is a fan of Diana's, who believes that Diana is still alive, and I play.
And she lives in Spain. She wants to go in Spain.
Yeah, she wants
to meet her,
to find her, and tell her that she
only has 2 weeks to find her.
Yeah. And Arlette, she's funny, but there's also something very desperate about her, and that's what I like about these characters is that they have very funny moments, and then they also have these little moments where So I think that's my favorite thing about Arlette, definitely. And then I play Sherry Sisman, the lawyer, who orders a Princess Diana wedding, a royal wedding, from a fantasy wedding planning company, and gets a Star Wars wedding instead, and she has a nervous breakdown about that. And that monologue is all about, career versus, the feminism of the 80s and what women were kind of put up against in those times. And
it is quite interesting, and you do a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.